Beyond the outer border of the Galactic Empire, deep in a cold and empty region of space, an Imperial patrol fleet drifted in silent formation. Their ships moved slowly between scattered asteroid fields and broken moons, scanning for smugglers, rebels, or unknown threats. For years, nothing dangerous had crossed this sector because everyone feared the Empire. Their sensors were the best in the galaxy, their weapons unstoppable, and their rule absolute. Or so they believed. Commander Ralvan stood on the bridge of the lead cruiser, watching stars pass across the main screen. Everything looked normal until the alarms screamed without warning. Red lights flashed, and every officer froze. A ship had appeared in front of them. Not through warp. Not through hyperspace. Not even through cloaking. It simply existed. Identify that vessel, Ralvan ordered sharply. The scanning officer worked quickly, but confusion filled his voice. No signal, Commander, no transponder, no energy trail, it wasn't there 1 second ago. The bridge fell silent. Even the Imperial AI struggled to lock onto the target. The object looked smooth and dark, shaped like a blade floating in space. No markings. No lights. No weapons visible. Just stillness. Ralvan's voice grew tense. Send warning transmission, Imperial territory, identify yourself. The patrol waited. Seconds stretched into long, uncomfortable minutes. The unknown ship did not respond. It did not move. It did not power up. It did nothing at all. Fire a warning shot, Ralvan said, irritation masking fear. One cruiser launched a precision energy bolt toward the ship. The officers leaned forward, expecting impact. But the shot vanished just before touching the hull. Not absorbed. Not deflected. It disappeared like it never existed. Shock spread across the bridge. Ralvan felt cold fear crawl up his spine. Full scan now, he shouted. Then everything went wrong. Navigation systems across the fleet shut down at once. Star maps vanished. Engines stalled. Communication channels collapsed into static. The patrol ships drifted helplessly. Commander, we've lost control, an officer cried. Something is inside our systems, another yelled. Ralvan realized they weren't being attacked. They were being disabled, carefully. Like someone was testing them. Panic spread across the fleet channel. Every ship reported the same failure. The Empire's most advanced machines had been silenced without a single visible weapon. Hours passed in complete stillness. The mysterious ship never moved. It watched them like a predator studying trapped prey. Finally, the main screen flickered. A message forced its way through every Imperial channel at the same time. Text appeared in clear, calm letters. This territory is no longer under Imperial control. Ralvan's hands trembled. No species had ever spoken to the Empire like this. No one dared challenge them. Before he could respond, long-range scanners suddenly reactivated. New signals appeared across deep space. Thousands. Then tens of thousands. All coming from the same direction as the unknown ship. The silent intruder was not alone. The Empire had just realized. Something far older, far stronger, and far more dangerous had entered their galaxy. News of the unknown ship spread across the Galactic Empire faster than any war signal in history. What began as a patrol incident quickly became a full-scale emergency. The Imperial Command labeled it a Priority 1 threat. No ship had ever disabled an Imperial fleet without firing a weapon. In the imperial capital, the High Council gathered in silence. Massive holographic screens showed the dark vessel floating in the border sector. Admirals, generals, and AI analysts stood confused. Their machines could not explain how the ship appeared. It broke every known law of space travel. "This is impossible," one counselor whispered. "Nothing enters our territory unseen," another said nervously. The Empire ordered an immediate military response. A full battle armada was deployed. Hundreds of warships jumped toward the sector. The Empire intended to crush the threat quickly and publicly. They needed to show strength. But civilians across nearby systems had already begun to panic. Rumors called it the ghost ship. Others claimed it was an ancient weapon. Some believed it belonged to the lost human species, a name long erased from Imperial history. Hours later, the Imperial Armada arrived. They surrounded the silent black vessel from every direction. Weapons locked, shields raised. The Imperial Admiral, Varric, stared at the strange ship. It still had no power signature. No engines active. No visible weapons. "Final warning," Varric announced. "You have entered Imperial territory illegally, surrender now." Silence answered him again. Varric clenched his fists. "Fire," he commanded. The Armada unleashed a storm of plasma, lasers, and antimatter torpedoes. Enough firepower to erase entire planets. The attack filled space with blinding light. Then, nothing. When the smoke cleared, the unknown ship remained untouched. Not a scratch. Not even a flicker of shield energy. The Imperial weapons had vanished just like before. Fear crept across every Imperial bridge. Before they could fire again, every warship lost weapon control at the same time. Missile bays locked. Energy cannons disabled. Targeting systems erased. Admiral Varric realized the terrifying truth. They were not fighting. They were being controlled. The unknown ship began scanning the entire armada. Every system. Every weapon. Every frequency. It was learning. This isn't an attack," Varric said quietly. "It's studying us." Suddenly, the dark vessel moved for the first time. Not forward. Not backward. But space itself folded open beside it. A massive circular portal appeared near the Empire's inner trade routes. Close to the core worlds. Closer than any enemy had ever reached. Imperial alarms exploded across dozens of star systems. Emergency signals flooded the capital. The ghost ship had opened a doorway. Right into the heart of the Empire. The moment the portal appeared near the Imperial core worlds, panic spread everywhere. Trade stopped. Military ships scrambled without clear orders. The Empire had never been attacked so close to its center. Inside the capital, alarms echoed through the High Council chambers. Admirals shouted over each other. AI systems struggled to predict the next move. Nothing matched known enemy behavior. Then a forbidden command was issued. The Emperor ordered the opening of sealed archives. Files locked for thousands of years. Records that no citizen was meant to see. As the data loaded, silence filled the room. The truth was worse than any invasion. Long ago, before the Empire ruled the galaxy, humans had been explorers. They were not strong in numbers. But their technology grew faster than any other species. They built ships that ignored limits. Machines that learned without control. Weapons that adapted. The young Empire feared them. Instead of war, the Empire chose betrayal. They attacked human colonies without warning, destroyed their worlds, erased their records, and declared humans extinct. But they never confirmed it. The archive showed missing fleets, lost battles, unexplained disappearances near human space. Every investigation had been hidden. They didn't die, one counselor whispered. They left, another said with horror. Back in the invaded sector, the unknown ship began broadcasting. Not threats, not demands, but proof. Images of destroyed human planets, Imperial war logs, historical recordings of the Empire's crimes. The message spread across every system. Citizens saw the lies. Military officers hesitated. Allies began questioning Imperial rule. The Empire was losing control from inside. Then long-range scanners detected new arrivals. Ships emerging from deep, dark space beyond the portal. Thousands of them. All sharing the same impossible design as the first vessel. The humans had not returned for revenge. They had returned with power the Empire could never stop. And now the entire galaxy knew why. The truth spread across the Empire like fire in dry air. Every system saw the human evidence. Every world heard the hidden history. And trust in the Empire began to break. Planets that once obeyed without question now hesitated. Governors refused military orders. Imperial fleets argued with Central Command. Fear replaced loyalty. Across the core worlds, protests filled the streets. Citizens demanded answers. Many species realized they had also suffered under Imperial rule. The human broadcast awakened old anger everywhere. Meanwhile, the human fleet continued to arrive. Ship after ship exited the portal in perfect formation. Silent, organized, unstoppable. They did not fire on cities. They did not attack civilians. They only targeted Imperial control stations, communication hubs, fleet command centers, defense grids. Every strike was precise. No wasted damage. No chaos. Just removal of Imperial power. Imperial admirals tried to fight back. But their ships shut down one by one. Human technology locked weapons before they could fire. Disabled engines mid-battle. Overrode military AI like it was nothing. Entire Imperial fleets surrendered without combat. Some commanders powered down voluntarily. They knew resistance was useless. The Empire's greatest strength, fear, had vanished. Even elite war systems failed. Planetary shields collapsed when human ships simply passed through them. Defense satellites went dark without explosion. It was not war. It was controlled dismantling. Inside the capital, the High Council fell into chaos. They blamed each other. Military demanded total war. Politicians begged for negotiation. For the first time in Imperial history, they were not the ones giving orders. Then a transmission arrived from the largest human ship. A single calm voice echoed through every Imperial channel. Galactic Empire, surrender all authority immediately. The room froze. No threats. No shouting. Just certainty. The Empire understood the terrifying truth. They were no longer rulers of the galaxy. The Imperial capital had never known silence like this before. The halls were empty. Military officers waited for orders that never came. The Empire was breaking faster every hour. But deep beneath the capital world, hidden from every public record, the Empire still held one final weapon. A doomsday system built long ago for absolute emergencies. A device powerful enough to erase entire fleets in one strike. They had never used it because it was unstable, dangerous, unpredictable. Now they had no choice. The Emperor approved the activation. Imperial engineers rushed to prepare the weapon. It locked onto the human fleet gathering near the core worlds. From space, human ships did not move. They did not defend. They did not retreat. They simply waited. The Imperial weapon fired. A massive beam of energy tore through space. Bright enough to blind nearby systems. Strong enough to destroy anything in its path. For a moment, the Empire believed they had won. Then the beam bent. Instead of striking the humans, it curved back toward its origin. The weapon's own power reversed. Human technology had taken control in mid-fire. Seconds later, the underground Imperial base exploded. A chain reaction ripped through the capital's defense core. The Empire's last hope vanished in its own destruction. Across every Imperial channel, silence followed. No more commands. No more threats. Only fear. Then the human flagship sent another message. This time not to the military, but to the Emperor himself. We did not come for conquest. The voice was calm. Controlled. Cold. We came for judgment. The explosion of the Imperial superweapon base marked the end of resistance. Across the galaxy, Imperial fleets powered down. Governors surrendered control. Military command collapsed without leadership. The empire that once ruled through fear now begged for mercy. The human fleet entered the core worlds slowly. Not as conquerors, but as witnesses. Their ships hovered above major systems without firing. Watching. Waiting. Then the final broadcast began. Human archives were released to the entire galaxy. Clear records of Imperial invasions. Destroyed civilizations. Forced obedience. Erased histories. Species that once believed the Empire protected them now understood the truth. They had been controlled. Silenced. Used. Anger spread everywhere. But the humans did not encourage war. They did not call for revenge. Instead, they offered protection, stability, freedom from imperial rule. System after system accepted human authority willingly. Not because of fear, but because humans proved something no one else had ever shown. Power with control. Strength without cruelty. Former imperial worlds dismantled their war fleets. Trade routes reopened under human protection. Borders disappeared. The galaxy began rebuilding within days. At the center of it all, the human commander sent one last message across every channel. The Empire is ended. The galaxy is free. There was no cheering. No celebration. Only silence filled with understanding. Long ago, the Empire tried to erase humanity. They believed humans were dangerous. Unpredictable. Too advanced to exist. They were right about one thing. Humans had become something far beyond what the Empire feared. Not destroyers. Not tyrants. But guardians. And as peace spread across the stars, one truth remained clear to every species watching the fallen Empire's ruins. The galaxy once feared humans. Now it feared a future without them.